Welcome us in on this beautiful day. Thank you, Holly. We're so blessed to have you with us and part of us and guiding us. Thank you for all of your gifts. All right, well, we are all welcome to the love and light that is Unity of Lawrence. And as we settle into that light and love, remember that we will begin everything with prayer. So let's take a centering breath and open to the divine in all of us as we listen to this prayer. On this day, we dedicate our hearts to peace on earth, all of earth. We appreciate everyone's spiritual journey and the abundant blessings bestowed upon us. In unity with all who seek to express freedom, joy, and transformation, we welcome our divine inheritance as creators. In harmony with this truth, we live to the best of our ability with a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart, and a peaceful spirit. And so it is. Amen. Well, our prayer chaplains are trained to hold sacred space and pray one-on-one. So if there's anything in your heart troubling that peace that is always a deep well within, then know that we invite you to see one of our chaplains after today's service at the front of the sanctuary. Our chaplains today are Holly and Diane. Our chaplains will also pray for you during the week. Just fill out a prayer request slip and place it in the wooden box just outside the office. It's a little purple slip. And chaplains can also visit in times of need. Just let the office know. All prayers are confidential and powerful. Well, let's do that other thing we love. That's singing together. And so let's rise as we are able and join Holly in leading us in Spirit Alive in Us.
All right, this is a new tune for us. So we're gonna go at it together. There is a section where it's in parentheses. That means you can repeat after me if you like. Spirit, you're alive in us. You're alive in us right here. Spirit, you're the light in us, shining bright through us right here. Spirit, you're the love in us, reaching out with every touch. Spirit, you're the voice in us, rising up behind the hush. Yeah, you guys did it great. Let's do it one more time. Spirit, you're alive in us. You're alive in us right here. Spirit, you're the light in us, shining bright through us right here. Spirit, you're the love in us, reaching out with every touch. Spirit, you're the voice in us, rising up behind the hush. Yeah. Repeat after me. We feel it. We feel it. We see it. Believe it. It's spirit. It's spirit. Yeah. And now let's turn and greet each other. Say hello. sweet Spirit. Now let's try the second verse here. Spirit, you're the breath in us, breathing all of us right here. Spirit, you're the grace in us, calming every fear right here. Spirit, you're the peace in us, spreading out across the world. Spirit, you're the power in us, flying like a flag bird, yeah. Repeat after me. We feel it, we feel it, yeah. We see it, believe it, it's Spirit, yeah. Spirit, you're alive in us, you're alive in us right here. Spirit, you're the light in us, shining bright through us right here. Spirit, you're alive in us, you're alive in us right here. Spirit, you're the light in us, shining bright through us right here, yeah.
Yeah. A new one, but a keeper for sure. Oh, I love that song. So we are revealing it. We are believing it. It is here in all of us, right here, right now. And as we settle into that beautiful truth, let us affirm unity's founding principle together. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the source of all good, and our vision, united in divine love and joy, we celebrate a peaceful and abundant world for all. And our mission, we are a thriving spiritual community, sharing love, building bridges, and inspiring transformation. Well, we have a fabulous guest musician joining us today who's definitely going to inspire us. Thank you, and a big welcome to Tim Behrens.
Thank you. Let me wander just above. Help me read the signs with love, to shed the mask that I had just survived in. I could cast these worries on, surrender to the breeze, find my heart in moments that my soul might dive in. Take it all away, I'll rise above. We'll find you when there's no more questions why. Take it all away, my love. Will you meet me where the long road touches sky? I surrender all my burden, let go of all my hope. When I close my eyes and then the sea arises, I need nothing in those waves to sail these doubts away. The stars my home, the softest bed I lie in. Take it all away, I'll rise above. We'll find you when there's no more questions why. Take it all away, my love. Will you meet me where the long road touches sky? And I'll find you through the seasons, the hard lessons when I stray, like razor light and memories that guide along the way. And in healing as the sunrise on this tapestry of time, each thread a story we embrace with nothing more Take it all away, I'll rise above. We'll find you when there's no more questions why. Take it all away, my love. Will you meet me where the long road touches sky? Take it away. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Tim. And again, a reminder, if you need some help with taking that burden away, we have our prayer chaplains and so many resources. And coming up, Reverend Jennifer Hutchins is another wonderful resource, the founder of Unity Arts Ministry. Her mission is to inspire self-reflection and personal transformation through spiritual principles and the healing power of art. Through Unity Arts Ministry, Reverend Jennifer facilitates creative workshops, classes, and retreat experiences. Please give a warm welcome to Rev Jen.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Tim, setting the stage with such powerful music. The image, too, right, where the long road touches sky. I can't tell you how many paintings I have that I've done where it's like this long road that just keeps going. And at the very end, you know, there's this point where the road touches the sky. It's that one piece of the horizon that's always like clear at the end. So it brought a very special personal connection into that. And when I look back at those images, I often see them as this is the spiritual journey, right? We are on it, and you're always going. It's kind of like, where's the end of the rainbow, right? that end, that point, it's always, you're still going. But the thing is that we're always still growing. And that's what this is about. That's what being in spiritual community is about, is a place where we can grow on our spiritual journey, that we're ever connecting more deeply to our own awareness of Source. So, do we have any Deepak Chopra fans in the room at all? Yeah. I've been really geeking out on Deepak lately. It started, I've been attending Unity Church of Overland Park, and their fall faith series was Deepak Chopra's book, Living in the Light. So I went to my library, app to see if they had it available on Kindle, and they didn't. However, they had 20 other Deepak books, and there was one that caught my eye called The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire. I mean, don't you just love that title? The Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire. And so it's like, well, before I get the other one, I'm going to start with this one. So I started with that, the Spontaneous Fulfillment of Desire, and then moved into Living in the Light, filled with all of these practices to deepen, your spiritual toolbox, the infinite well that it is. You can always add more into it. And then now I'm moved into meta-human, which, taking it to another level, right? So it's been really interesting. But what's been for me the most powerful thing with reading these books is that I'm seeing the unity in Deepak and the Deepak in unity, right? There's different words that are happening. Deepak uses words like quantum fields, and he even used the phrase quantum soup, which I'm still not sure of, but I think it might be the same thing, but, trying to wrap my mind around it. And then Unity co-founders Charles and Myrtle Fillmore would say, God, Spirit, Source. So when I'm looking at and experiencing these Chopra books, what I'm noticing is that I'm hearing things for the first time because it's different words. So it's the same concepts, right? I mean, really, every single Sunday is the same thing. It's all about elevating our consciousness, becoming more aware of that spirit always present in our life. We could just say, that founding statement, there is one power, one presence active in the universe and in my life, God the good. We could say that every Sunday. That's it. That's the message, folks. See you next week, right? But when we hear things in new words, when somebody says something to us in slightly different way, or there's a story connected to it that touches our heart, all of a sudden it's like we're hearing it again. And so even though the idea, the practice is a prayer and meditation, we're hearing this every week, hopefully, yet sometimes it feels like it's not resonating in our actual life. Right? Do I pray? Do I meditate? Sure. Right? And then sometimes somebody says something and it clicks in a different way that your practice then becomes deeper. That's what's been happening for me with these Chopra books and this little journey that I've been on the last couple of months. And as we like to, sort of say here, right? It's all about practical spiritual teachings. That means it's not just something up here, ooh, isn't that a lovely idea? But I want to be able to walk it. I want to be able to experience it in my life to prove it, because I think we all still have this scientific part of us that wants the proof. We want to know this is making a difference in my life, in your life, out in the world. So I'm going to tell you my experience over the last few months and shifting my practices around my meditation, my prayer time, have truly dropped me in to this place of the spontaneous fulfillment of desire. And it sounds a little cliche, but I'm going to share a few examples this week. I'm seeing some head nods. You all understand this, right? When you are in it, you are in it, right? All of the synchronicities, the way that the universe just keeps handing you one thing after another, and here's a gift, and here's a gift. Oh, didn't you ask for this one? Sure, here you go, right? This is where I've been, and it's been amazing. And when I see that, and then I remember, oh yes, that's because God is ever present, by whatever name you call that, right? Maybe you call it the quantum field, I don't know. But for me, right, it's the same thing. And when I remember that presence is always there, always active in every aspect of my life, then I can start to drop the worry, the anxiety, the fears. And I can begin to live with that deeper sense of inner peace. So if you'd like them, I would love to give you some of these tools today as we move into this, yeah. So I want to share it. I'll sprinkle these throughout. So synchronicity, number 1. And I'll share some that are specifically related to what Michelle shared earlier. That is my passion, my mission in life, is to help inspire personal transformation through spiritual principles and the healing power of art. So these two things, right, are ever present for me. And I'm always asking, how can I do that on a more deep level? How can I expand how I'm reaching people with this message? And so a few things over the summer as I was coming into clarity with what I wanted included the opportunity to present a workshop at the Unity Peoples Convention. Are you all familiar with this? So it's an annual convention, gathers folks in Unity, a lot of leadership from across the globe. Right? And I thought, how powerful would that be for the arts ministry to present at that level where we're then teaching those who can go out and teach others in their ministries? So I literally just dropped that idea in the universe, wrote it in my journal. 2 months later, I had just set it aside, right? I got an email. Hi, Jen. I'm working with the committee for the Unity Peoples Convention 2024, and we're wondering, would the arts ministry be interested in presenting a series of workshops? Yes, we would. Thank you very much, right? So we will, in fact, be presenting a series of workshops at the People's Convention this year. Myself and my co-facilitator, Jenny Hahn, will be doing those presentations. But this is like one, right? I didn't even reach out to them. They reached out to me. And that's how it works when we align ourselves with our desires and we plug in to our spiritual source. That's key. Then these things start to unfold in our lives and they feel very magical, right? But it's not magic, it's the understanding that we are conscious creators of our lives. So now, the first tool I want to share with you is probably one you've heard before, but it may be one that feels a little bit uncomfortable. And that is, in order to step into the light, right, more fully, present, here, hello, how would I like to show up in the world? Fully shining your light out there, the first thing you need to do is acknowledge the darkness. Yay! Yeah. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean by acknowledge the darkness? The darkness are those places in our lives, in our collective community, out in the world, that feel less than joy-filled, peace-filled, spirit-led. Anything that feels less than that, we are probably experiencing some sense of what we would call darkness. When we see things like conflict, violence, war, darkness. When we look out at sort of, if we imagine it as the movie screen of life, right? When we're seeing horror movies projected in front of us, darkness. Deepak Chopra talks about this a little bit. To be honest, all of the books have merged together for me at this point. I did write down where this one came from. In Living in Light, Chopra equates us to moviegoers, watching the story on a screen and forgetting that we are not the movie. I got stuck in the story again. So how often do we get stuck in the story that's being projected? So when we see themes of, horror and drama and all of that unfolding before us, they are creations that are coming from places of not being plugged in to the light. And so in our lives, we're being invited to look at where are those places, right? Think about them in your own life. Where in your own life do you feel disconnected? Where in your own life do you feel struggle, challenge, conflict? Where in your own life do you judge others? Move into a space of us versus them mentality? Because if there is one power and one presence active in the universe and in my life, we are all emanations of that one source. How can there be other? But it's human nature to see things as separate, right? It's human nature to experience shadow and light. The key is, yes, if we are standing outside on a fall day and we're standing under the shade of an oak tree, and all of a sudden, wind comes through and we're like, ooh, it's chilly. I'm really cold. I wish I could warm up. If only the sun were shining, and it is, right? We're just standing in the shade. So we have a choice. I can continue to stay in this space of darkness, in this shadow, or I can acknowledge, hey, look at the shadow that I'm in, and I can move over. I can step into the light. Then when I am seeing with the light, in that space where I am receiving that divine inspiration and I feel that sense of power, creative power within me, I can then consciously choose to create something different. I can create more harmony. I can create solutions. In the book of Matthew, Jesus writes, "The lamp of the body is the eye." The lamp of the body is the eye. Now think about this again, that idea of movie projection, right? The lamp being the eye, what we are seeing projecting out. If therefore your eye is sound, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is evil, again, missing the mark of who we truly are, your whole body will be full of darkness. Now think of this sense again, the body being your life experience. So Charles Fillmore interprets this specific passage in this way. The eye typifies the ability of the mind to discern and understand the reality of spirit that lies back of every form or symbol in the material world. Let's look at that again a little bit. The eye, right, how we are seeing, what we are projecting out into the world, what we are then receiving back at us. It's our ability to discern and understand the reality that spirit, God, source, quantum soup, lies behind everything. So if we can see that energy as a light energy, as the energy of love, of peace, of joy, then we are outpicturing love and peace and joy. If we are so clouded by ideas of conflict and struggle and strife, then we miss the mark. We don't see the light that is really there. He goes on to say, to have an eye that is sound and single is to have a searching quality of mind with keen observation that selects only that which is good. He uses a lot of words sometimes to get at something that can be really simple, right? What we're holding in our thoughts creates our reality. So if we intentionally choose thoughts that align with joy and peace and harmony, then we help to outpicture joy and peace and harmony in our lives and in the world. This is the power of light, the power of plugging in to our power source. In other words, in all of this, we are being invited to focus on the light. We focus on moving into this sense of power source, right? Like plugging in to it. This power source is part of our creative process. Now, as an artist, I love the fact that it's all about creativity. All of life. We are life artists, every single one of us. Please don't ever tell me you're not an artist or you're not creative. You are. Your thoughts, your words, your actions are incredibly powerful creative tools. They are much more powerful than my brush, right? Now, in looking at this creative power that we have, Chopra uses words like supra-consciousness, right? And says that from this consciousness, or this quantum soup, there are infinite possibilities. All things exist within it. And then there is this level of thought and ideas, this field of thought and ideas. Then the next level is what we experience with our senses, what is outpictured into this experience. Now, if you're familiar with Unity's teachings, you might know this as mind, idea, expression. It's the same thing. That was one of my like, ooh, look at that. He's saying the same thing they did. Yeah, moments. Yeah. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. Now, that came after the film wars because, Charles wrote that, it would have been like 2 pages long. Thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. That's the takeaway, right? So Chopra goes in to talk about all of these different ways that we can deepen our practices. And there's been 3 that I've really sort of taken and run with over the last few months. And the first is to clear toxins. Clear toxins. Now, when we talk about the darkness, right, or seeing darkly, again, it's things that create a shade from seeing from that perspective of light. So imagine every little toxin, right, like a toxic relationship, and another one, and another one, right? And each one is creating a level of shade in our lives. Toxic habits, addictions, to alcohol, to drugs, to overeating, whatever that might be in your life. Toxic experiences at work, things that drain you. Watching the news, right? Toxic, right? Like, just name it today on the news. Each one is adding this layer of shade to what we then outpicture. So if we begin clearing those, right? Imagine dusting your inner view, then what you see is more light-filled by nature. So it's not doing anything out, it's just removing. So centering yourself and surrounding yourself with people and experiences that uplift you, that make you feel like you are a beautiful, incredibly successful, worthy human being. Hang out with those people. The ones that bring you down, I'm busy, sorry, maybe next week, whatever you need to do to create some boundaries around those unhealthy relationships. Recognizing your habits, right? Check your cupboard, check your fridge. What are you feeding yourself that is inputting toxins that are keeping you from being fully clear in the world? Remove, right? Remove the toxins. What do you watch? What are you ingesting? I know when I watch, spiritual documentaries, things on the power of thought, it's like I can see the difference in my life, like the very next day versus if I turn on, some action flick or something, right? Like my body doesn't feel as centered just in that moment. So begin looking at your life. If you like Marie Kondo, I know I've mentioned her before, right? Does it bring you joy? If it doesn't, chuck it, right? Clear that toxin out of your life. And then the second tool to lean into is observe your thoughts. Begin by simply observing them without judgment, because you're going to see a lot of stuff in there when you start noticing them. Yeah, when you start really paying attention to your thoughts, you might notice that you're not quite as loving and accepting as maybe you think you are. So just begin observing them. Notice what is there, right? You might think, ooh, I'm not such a good spiritual human after all, when you start noticing the things. But the thing is that observation changes things. So oftentimes you won't even have to do anything about it, you just begin observing them. And then by nature, you are naturally going to start bringing in more positive thoughts. What is it that you do want to create? Oh yes, I think I would like to, teach a workshop at Unity Convention. Maybe that's not your thing, right? But I'm sure you have something that you would like to do, that you would like to experience, that when you ask yourself, how can I show up and fulfill my mission more powerfully on this planet? Maybe you're asking, what is my mission on this planet? Ask for clarity around that, and then bring your thoughts to that power. Clear the toxins, observe your thoughts, and third, meditate. Okay, out of curiosity, you all can close your eyes if you want to, make it be a little bit anonymous. Who actually engages a daily meditation practice? You can kind of do this if you want to. Yeah, okay. So no judgment, right? We're just observing. If you don't observe a daily meditation practice, begin slowly, right? Begin with a 2-minute meditation. And when I say meditation, I simply mean becoming aware. Becoming aware. You could do a mindful meditation where you're aware of your senses, right? 2 minutes, what do I hear? Just be present here for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, be present to what do I feel, right? And maybe touch the couch or the chair, whatever. Becoming aware, that's all it is. And then eventually, right, you build that up 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, whatever feels right for you, but meditate in the morning, meditate in the evening. And on each end of that, when you're in meditation, again, we begin with simply mindfulness, awareness, and then begin to drop into just letting go, be. And that's that little space that when we're silent and our mind chatter stops for a little while, that still small voice drops in and says, yes, beloved, I am here. And we hear that, we know that, we feel that as a voice, as a chill, as an inner warmth, whatever that is for you. Goosebumps, right? It's like, ooh, I touched it, I felt it. I know there is something more. Clear your toxins, watch your thoughts, meditate. So anytime this coming week that you feel off-center, you're noticing the movie before you, you're getting caught up in the drama and the horror. It's a movie, it's a projection. What do I need to do? I need to clear the toxins, observe my thoughts, meditate. Remember your power source. Plug into that power source, become recharged, renewed. So I have to share with you another synchronicity, if we will call it that. I'm going to call it a creative manifestation of the power of plugging in, of setting intention. I shared with you the last time I was here that over the summer I had the opportunity to host a retreat in France, to host an art retreat in France. I'm going back this summer, so I'm going to be hosting my second art retreat in France. Now, when I was out there, the group that I was with, they're like, Jen, France is cool, but where else are we going to go? I know, right? I mean, they were thinking this level, and I was just like, I don't know, my first time, So I was like, you know what? I would love to go to Italy. I would love to go to Ireland, right? Like, let's set some intention around this together. So we kind of like brainstormed a little bit, like what would that feel like? Where would we want to go kind of thing. I came home, I journaled, like, ooh, this was magical. I can't wait to experience more international retreat experiences. And then again, I set it aside. This Tuesday, I got an email, folks. And the first line of the email was, Dear Jen, I own a boutique retreat center in Italy. I felt that head to toe chills just reading that line. And then continued on, right? Like we focus on bringing in artists and hosting retreats. Would you be interested? Please let me know. We'll set up a call. So I talked to her on Friday. We're going in 2025 in the summer. So yeah. So again, I didn't have to do the research. I didn't have to do anything. They contacted me. How she found me, I have no clue, but she found me, right? I'm thinking the universe went, hey, contact her, right? Because that's how it works. We're all one. I have to tell you all too, first thing last night I contacted Francesca because I know, this is her vision too, and she's been teaching Italian here, so I'm like, you guys are ready. So excited to share that news. But again, as that story, as that power, clear the toxins, right? Do the work. Focus on your thoughts. Bring in the thoughts, focus where you want to be, how you want to shine your light. Meditate, let yourself sink into it, and then watch the magic unfold. Watch it unfold. It's pretty awesome. Yeah. So as we close, I want to close with an affirmation today. And the affirmation is, God is my power source. And if you don't like the word God and you want to say quantum soup, go ahead. You could say quantum soup is my power source, right? Whatever that is for you. For me, it is God. So whatever feels right for you, I will say it one time, and then we'll say it together if you feel comfortable. If you're one of those rebels, you do not like saying what everybody else is saying, please say whatever you would like to say into that space. This is our space for holding affirmation of the truth, of the powerful, creative beings that you are. You are life artists. God is my power source. God is my power source. And so it is. Thank you.
Close my eyes and take a breath. Let these moments rise and fall, I rest. It's hard to stop when the world spins round, always up, never looking down what's left. Just beneath the lion's roar of silence, that matters more if I learn to listen. What's there left to know? Well, I could grow, let it go, breathe, and let it go. Read the words that are written on the pier that my heart's felt the tides were rolling. And through the questions, through the pain, I set my hopes to sail on a sea of knowing. Just beneath the siren song of silence, we're built upon. If I learn to listen, what's there left to know? Well, I could grow, let it go, and breathe, 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 and let it go. Somewhere in this sea of change, an island where I can rearrange, find the things that matter most of all. Plant my feet on solid ground, close my eyes and look around. The world is spinning with me or without me, rise and fall. And somewhere in this troubled mess, a message that more is less. Shed a cloak of longing I might know. Well, I could grow, let it go, and breathe, Breathe and let it go.
Now is our time that we begin to move into meditation as we allow ourselves the gift of being able to be present and to breathe, to let go of what no longer serves us, to let go of fear and doubt and worry, to know that there is one power, one presence active in the universe and in our lives, God the good. That goodness flows through us, as us, and creates amazing things in our lives. So join me now as we prepare to go within. With a deep inhalation and exhale, let go. Feel the body release, sink as it knows itself supported in the chair beneath you. Take another deep breath, and on the exhale, let go. There is nothing you need to do in this moment. Nothing you need to do, nothing that needs your attention more than this moment. Deep breath in, and on the exhale, let go. We allow ourselves to be fully present to the light and love of this now moment. We feel the peace within the center of our being. We allow ourselves to fully drop our awareness into our heart space, feeling the warmth, the light, the truth, the power, the strength, the imagination, all of the gifts of spirit that reside within the center of our being. We breathe into that, breathing into that truth, and on the exhale, we exhale the light out into the world, allowing ourselves to become still, to be breathed, as we allow spirit to move through us. We allow ourselves the gift and the blessing of resting in silence, breathing in and out into silence. God is my power source. I am creative. On the next breath, let these truths flow through you as you begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, coming back into the body. Taking another deep breath, feeling that sense of peace. And exhale it out. Thank you, God, for this moment of deep connection. Thank you, God, for this moment of shared community. Thank you, God, for this invitation to be the light of the world. And so it is. Amen. Thank you.
This is a Noah Gunderson song. As we gather round the table, say a prayer for those we love. All the words that will be spoken will never be enough to encompass all the feelings that our brittle hearts can bear. All the storms that rage inside us fill our organs up with air, and the sound it makes is an honest song our heart sings, an honest song. And all the time spent catching raindrops, all the times we've spent in bed, all the hours that we have wasted, we'll never see again. So be good with what you're given, for it's all you have to give. We are only passing shadows in the mighty wind, and the sound it makes is an honest song our heart sings, an honest song. So though we tremble in the darkness, in the cold and frozen snow, I am grateful for the winter comes to show that our trouble's never over and our work is never done. But with the turning of the seasons, we'll always see the sun, and the sound it makes is an honest song our heart sings, an honest song. Oh, may our hearts sing an honest song. Thank you.
Tim, and thank you, Rev Jen. What a perfect duo the two of you make in your artistry and your words. Thank you. And so, as our ushers come forward for our time of thanks, I invite you to join me as we hold our gifts to this community in our hands and love in our hearts as we affirm together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And as the love offering is collected, let's join Holly in singing, Holy, Holy, Holy. We are 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 holy. is. As our ushers come forward, here is our prayer of thanks to listen to. We are grateful, and we bless the flow of good that supports our unity community. We bless the givers who give their time, talent, and treasure. We stand in the knowing that the flow of good goes forth only to return again and again. And so it is. Amen. Well, a special welcome to our guests today here and on Zoom and later on Facebook. We are so glad you chose us today. Thank you for being here. And if you'd like more information about Unity, us, out in the foyer is a packet to welcome you and give you more information. And after the service, downstairs is Second Sunday potluck. So it doesn't matter whether you brought anything or not, there's always plenty. Come join us, enjoy in fellowship and chatting and talking about adventures in Italy in 2025. Remember that open meditation is with Phil Roger, meeting on Tuesdays here at 6:30. Our next Unity talk is this Friday. Boy, November's been full of all kinds of cool stuff, and there's more coming. But this Friday, John Musgrave, whom you may have seen and heard about on Ken Burns's PBS special, but he's a local Baldwin area person. And this Friday at 6:30, John Musgrave is presenting The Personal Legacy of War. John shares his experience as a combat Marine in Vietnam and his struggle to navigate peace upon his return home. Author of the memoir, The Education of Corporal John Musgrave by Knopf Publishing, and the award-winning book of poetry, Notes to the Man Who Shot Me, John offers insight and hope to those affected by war and to those who love them. What a perfect way to honor veterans and each other in a time of welcoming more peace. This Friday at 6:30. And then join Shannon Musgrave on Saturday afternoon, November 18th from 3 to 5, that's next Saturday, for the workshop Messages, Afterlife Communication. After 45 years of practice, retired nurse Shannon has honed her mediumship skills to be able to offer understanding and comfort to those of us struggling with loss. She offers helpful information and guidance in connecting with our non-physical beloveds, as well as the nature of existence after our physical experience. Shannon also works with those experiencing suicide loss and relays insight into the purpose and complexities of living in a physical body. She's amazing. She worked in Topeka in the hospice center and just another published poet as well. Amazing things coming to us and people to share messages of hope and light and connection. Well, come and join us 2 o'clock Thanksgiving Day for our annual Friendsgiving meal. We are providing the turkey, potatoes, and gravy. All you need to bring is a side dish or dessert to share. It will be a great time to share great food with great friends, and all are welcome and invited. We will be staying after service on Sunday, December 3rd, for the hanging of the greens. Plan on staying to help decorate the sanctuary for the holiday season. And join us next Sunday when Jay Pryor brings us the message, You Are Loved. Special music with Green Spirit Band. And now it's time to rise as you are able to sing together the peace song.